Welcome to Healing from a Narcissist. This is a conversation on healing from relationships with narcissists. This is just the first, I guess you would call it an installment, the first installment of a bunch, but we wanted to have some kind of dialogue in reference to narcissism. And so we're going to give you guys a few minutes to jump on and share this with some friends. We're going to do the same thing on our end. And like I said, this conversation is extremely important for those that have gone through it. You know what this all entails. And this is not a light topic or a light subject. This is a big deal. And so, like I said before, I'm just super excited that, that we are in a position to even have this dialogue with you guys today. So do me a favor, share this with some folks.
All right.
There.
What page you going live from, Taylor?
From the Promises Church page.
All right, let's go there.
Happening now. Share to Messenger. Share to the group.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I see. There we go.
I'm with it.
Roger says she know all about this.
Let me turn down this. There we go. No echo. So let me turn this volume back up. And then turn this one back down. All right. Awesome. So welcome, folks. I'm going to remove the overlay that we have on here real quick so you can see our faces and all that good stuff. Just a second. Now, again, we wanted to there we go. Tony, do me a favor, if you can hear me, and just introduce yourself to the people.
I can hear you.
Okay, you might have to refresh. I just had to because it got you frozen. Let me see if I try it this way. You still frozen. There we go. Okay, y'all on here. So we're going to wait for Tony to jump back on. But listen, so the topic of discussion for today, we're just going to cover the basics today. What is a narcissist? Because I know a lot of y'all been here before. I know that you've gone through this as well. I know that I am not the only one. You guys said as much in the comments and stuff. And I was like, God, I thank you because I'm not the only one that had to deal with this foolishness. Some other folks had to deal with it too. So Tony, do me a favor, introduce yourself.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. What's up, lightsabers? What's up, my people out there? And yes, anybody who is in my tribe, who's a part of my tribe, is proclaimed a lightsaber as well. I'm Tony Purnell, the light worker. My mission is to shine a light wherever I go. I am a licensed clinician. I have my own practice called Enlightened Therapy Services. I am the director of Christian counseling, director of mental health counseling at Promises Church. I'm one of the ministers there, and I cannot wait to get into this subject. It's going to be big. It's going to be dope. It's going to be deep. We want you guys to be vulnerable. Listen, ask us the questions that you want to know. You may be dealing with somebody who is a narcissist. You may be a narcissist.
You might be one. Tell them.
Listen, I don't want to rock the boat.
But this is it. This is the discussion. This is it right here. You may very well be a narcissist. You're going to know today after today's convo. You're going to know if it's you.
I'm just saying, and this convo is healing. How do we get to a point that we can heal? At my core, I want to be a servant. At my core, I want to be a healer. And so we
Yes.
are here today. Thank you for inviting me on this lovely platform to and share, my wealth of knowledge. And let's just do it. Let's do it big. Thank you, Pastor T.
I'm here for it 100%. Let me just say that Tony is available. He is booked and busy, but he's also available for sessions and stuff like that. He got good rates, y'all. So make sure you hit him up. Please do not hesitate. After this video post, we'll put all the information so that you can reach out to him. If you send an email to info@promiseschurch.org, we'll also direct you right to him if you need therapy sessions. That's individual, marriage, couples, whatever it is that you need, he's available for all of that. So please make sure you reach out. So we're going to dig in because we got some folks watching now. So we want to make sure we hit the topic. The first question is and it's the topic for today, but let's literally go through what is a narcissist. So I'm going to just give you what I have, what I found through my research, and then I'm going to let Tony go in. Basically, a narcissist in the plainest sense is someone that suffers from narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. It's a mental disorder characterized by a lifelong pattern of exaggerated feelings of self-importance, an excessive need for admiration, and a diminished ability to empathize with the feelings of others. Let me stop right there because I said a mouthful. Empathize, as in I don't have to necessarily go through what it is that you're going through or have ever had gone through it to know exactly what it is that you're feeling. But I care enough to care about what you're feeling and what you're going through and to notice that something's not right or something's off. Narcissists don't do that. All right. The other thing, like other personality disorders, NPD starts in childhood and starts to develop by early childhood. By early adulthood, excuse me. Personality disorders are a class of mental disorders characterized by enduring and inflexible maladaptive patterns of behavior, cognition, and inner experience exhibited across many contexts and deviating from those accepted by any culture. So basically, when you were younger, you went through a couple things, or you went through some stuff, or your entire childhood being treated a certain way or taught that certain behaviors were acceptable that shouldn't have been, or vice versa. And because that happened, this now triggered the adult version of you to put off a certain thing. I'm gonna let Tony go in because we got two different types of narcissism that I want to get into. But Tony, tell the people what you got. Who is a narcissist?
Let me just say this. Narcissists are not born. They are made.
Created and nurtured. Preach.
Let's just start there. So when people say, oh my God, I was born this way. No. Let's be very clear. Narcissists are made. They are created. And so when we talk about this idea and this notion of nature versus nurture, that whole nurture theme manifests itself.
Absolutely.
So when you look at the parenting style of a person who has made a narcissist, it's a combination of overindulgence and underindulgence when you're creating that type of individual. And so you have the parents that are always at the soccer games and you're taking pictures and they're cheering their child on, overindulging. Make sure their grades is on point and they're rewarding them for the good grades and everything is a picture perfect moment. That's the overindulgence moment I'm talking about. And then the underindulgence moments. Okay, well, Mom, I want to tell you how I feel. And they're disconnected from the child.
That's the two types.
Okay. So you got an overindulgence and then you have I'm just saying, we got to slow this train down.
I love it. You're coming with it. Those are the two. So the next thing I was going to get into is exactly what he said. They got names. Like he said, overindulgence, underindulgence. Another name for the overindulgent narcissist is a grandiose narcissist. And they suffer from grandiose narcissism. They're basically were treated as if they, like Tony said, as if they were superior throughout their entire childhood. These expectations end up following them when they become adults, and they tend to brag and be elitist, right? Those with grandiose narcissism are aggressive and dominant. They exaggerate their importance, and they are very self-confident and aren't sensitive to other people.
Yeah, I really think people, when you look at a narcissist, people, and you're talking about the classic hallmarks of a narcissist, Pastor T. You're talking about the grandiose nature. You're talking about the lack of empathy. Thinking the world revolves around them. They're really entitled. They expect special treatment to be given to them and them only.
Preach.
And so when you talk, those are the classic hallmark symptoms of a narcissist. But it's for them and nobody else. Why do you get the special treatment? Why is
Why?
it
That's the
kids?
big question. They think they deserve it. That's
Hmm.
the answer to that question is people who suffer from grandiose narcissism, they feel like they are superior. They were
Yeah.
raised to believe
Hmm.
that they are. And they
Hmm.
deserve more and better than everybody else.
Let me say this, and they harbor these huge fantasies that it's about status. They want to be around people who have status, and how they look.
Elitists. Yes.
They want to make people be around people who make them look good as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have the vulnerable
Hmm.
narcissist. And so vulnerable narcissism is a behavior that is usually the result of childhood neglect or abuse. And so we talk about it a lot in therapy sessions, but a lot of people have faced some kind of neglect in their childhood. Maybe
Hmm.
not, it's more
Yeah.
damaging when it's from a parent or somebody that they look up to, but it could be in any space. And we're
Yeah.
all trying to how do you put it, cope with that now as adults.
Exactly.
Wherever we might have felt that, we're trying to cope with that. But this person, it's to the extreme, right? People with
Yes.
this behavior are much more sensitive. Narcissistic behavior helps to protect them against feeling inadequate, right? Even
Exactly.
though they go between feeling inferior and superior to others, they feel offended or anxious when others don't
Yeah.
treat them as if they're special. So these
Yeah.
people actually don't feel that they're special, and they
Hmm.
bounce back and forth, but they put on a front like they should be treated special. Amen. And I'm preaching because that's the amen come in when I feel like I'm in a preaching
Come
mood.
on.
But these people feel like they should be
Yeah.
treated special to cope with the fact that they don't feel like they're special on an everyday basis. What you
Yeah.
got, Tony?
When you look at that, I'm glad you said that. So narcissism really has nothing to do with me. If I'm dating a narcissist, it has nothing to do with me. It's really everything to do with them and their own
Absolutely.
insecurities,
Woo.
right? The insecurity, narcissism is a trait that reflects solely on insecurity. And that's
Yes.
the vulnerable aspect that Pastor T was talking about. People who are so insecure that they count on the world for validation. That's what
Yes.
she was talking about.
Woo.
That's why social media is so paramount to a person who has narcissistic personality disorder.
They believe it's reality, though. They really
Hmm.
believe it's
Hmm.
reality. Now, y'all
Yeah.
know I posted my post, and I posted it because I wanted y'all to not feel like you were by yourselves. But I really just wanted y'all to know, look, I've been missing in action. People were like, she's been silent for a few months. I was dating
Wow.
a narcissist, and it almost took me out of here. So I thank God for those that were
Wow.
praying for me, not knowing what I was going through, but knew I was missing. For those that just was praying, period. For those that just wished me well in life, it don't have to be a
Yeah.
prayer. You just wanted me to be better off. Listen, I was dealing for almost 3 months with a narcissist, and it almost took me out. Almost took me out. So I have to be very honest with you guys. This is not just a topic we're covering because it's a cute one. This is personal for me. It was life or death, matter of life or death almost. It can be that extreme. And here's the thing. So I
Wow.
want to cover the next thing I want to move or segue into is traits of a narcissist, because some of you might be basically, and I will get into dating a narcissist in a little bit, but just overall general traits of, you might, like Tony said, you might be encountering one. And narcissism, when I speak to other people and I counsel them, I've noticed narcissism in two very strong forms. One, somebody is dating a narcissist.
Hmm.
Or two, I see it where they've been parented by a narcissist. That's
Yes.
very prevalent too. That's heavy. My personal experience prior to now, I've never dated a narcissist. My parents aren't narcissists,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
did work with or work for or work under a bunch of them, and
Yeah.
so and they
Yeah.
can afford to be that way. Here's the other
Yep.
thing. Narcissists can move through life and be very successful individuals, and you might not
Hmm.
even notice that they're narcissistic until you have personal interactions with them.
Wow.
Let me be clear, because they're good at
Woo!
putting on
Come on.
fronts.
Come on down the alley.
Listen, they're good on putting on fronts, and they're good on putting
Hmm.
on a face, and only people who get close. I read something, and this is for the dating part, but I'll throw it out there now. I read something that said the people who feel the worst of it, that get the brunt of the worst of a narcissist, are the people that they are closest to, because they're not afraid to take that mask off, which says to me that sometimes narcissists know that they have these negative tendencies and ways about them, and continue on moving through life like they're perfect.
Oh, I've even in my own practice, I've treated a couple narcissists. One, it's very
Woo,
hard to treat. I've treated a
preach.
couple hard. I'm telling you, because one, it requires accountability, and
Yes.
it's hard to treat because a narcissist, and the traits that Pastor T is talking about, a narcissist is not going to take accountability for their actions. They'll do this thing, which is almost, I'll say, an underlining trait or quality. We talk about this thing called being jealous. Another thing we hear about hard these days is gaslighting, right? They
Yes.
deny your reality. They deny the reality that you're living. Oh,
Make you
well,
think you're
when you said
crazy and
this,
you're not.
make you think you're crazy. When you said this to me the other day, I felt really sad about that. And they make a statement like, well, you don't have the right to feel that way. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have the right to feel that way.
Ooh,
Or I didn't say that. Well, I don't know. I've never said that. It's
this
like
is
then you
good.
question who you are. It's like, oh,
Yes.
they have a tendency to make you jealous, or they become jealous. They intend a tendency to gaslight you. They have a tendency to be not loyal, and they get pleasure out of having misery with people or seeing misery in other people. Those
Yes.
are the underlying traits that Pastor T was just about. She's discussing here. You
Mm.
got the symptoms, and then you have a little traits and qualities of a person that are deeper
Yes.
that you
Yes.
may
That's
not
huge.
realize.
Mm. This is huge. I hope y'all are typing in the comments. Please continue to type in the comments. And if you have questions, we have answers. Like I said earlier in the show, Tony Purnell is a licensed clinician. He went to school for this. He got degrees in this. He studied this, passed tests for this, all that good stuff. I've been pastoring for over 20 years. I've been in the ministry. Promises Church is new, but me pastoring has not. Me counseling is
Yes,
not new. So I'm
that's
excited.
right.
We are excited to be here to help you. To look, throw your questions in, throw your experiences in. We
Let's
like to
hear
share
them.
those as well. If you
We want
feel
to hear it,
comfortable
y'all.
sharing them, we feel comfortable sharing them. Let me hit on some of these traits that we find with a typical narcissist. I'm not even talking about dating. I'm just talking about period. Again, this could be a
Exactly.
parent. This could be a friend. This could be a relative. This could be a boss. This could be you.
This might be you,
It might be
and I
you.
want you to
If
hear
you're
it.
a
That may be
narcissist, it's
you.
okay. And while you can't necessarily be cured, you can learn to cope with it, and you can learn some
Exactly.
skills that'll make you a little less narcissistic in your interactions with other people. Boom.
You know what? And that's later down the line when we talk about what treatment looks like. But
Mm-hmm.
just to give them a little taste, you can teach a person to show up on time.
Yes.
Okay, I can teach a person to show up on time, but once I get there, I can't teach them to be present. Okay,
Yes.
like I can teach a little empathy, I can teach a little respect, but there are a lot of underlying issues that a narcissist will just not bend on.
Absolutely.
They won't, and that's just solely personality defects and characteristics. That's not a you thing. Don't take it personalized.
Whew.
Please don't.
Please.
We gonna get into this.
It's not, because it's not personal. It's look, basically we want everybody to live their best lives out here. And I don't want you to all. I also don't want you to end up like if I could save you the time. I spoke with a friend of mine who dated the same narcissist I did. We had no clue, right? Because nobody really talks about who they date. Everybody got to keep your spouse secretive and away from
Yeah.
social media and that whole bit.
Yep.
But like, she would have saved me if she would have said it. But I believe it was God's design for me to go through that so that I can connect with some other people that I wouldn't have normally been able to connect with. So I thank God for the experience and for pulling me out. But the
Wow.
first thing she said when she asked me if I dated him was that he was a narcissist. And that's the first thing that I would tell somebody if they said that they were the same thing, because that's what, nothing negative about the person overall,
Wow.
but that's just who that person is. Here's some things
Yeah.
to look for: sense of entitlement. And Tony, feel free to go in on these, like if you want to expound or explain. A narcissist feels a sense of entitlement.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like
I,
somebody owes them something, like the
yeah.
world owes them something. Everybody they encounter owes them something. It belongs to them, and
Hmm.
they're going to get it because of who they are. They think they're
Yeah.
special,
I'm
superior. We
special.
talk
I'm
about it.
unique. It belongs to me. It's my
Woo!
birthright. And I'll say things like that all the time. It's my birthright. I'm winning in life because I'm designed to win. But they've
Yes.
taken this to the next level.
They
I'm talking
take it
about
too far.
when I talk about it and how me and Pastor T talk about it's our birthright to win in life. We're talking about favor. Okay.
Yes.
Woo, I'm not. We talking about favor.
Not
This is
nobody
not
owing us
about
nothing.
favor. Exactly. This is not about favor. This is feel like
Woo!
because they feel like that's just they deserve it, and that's just because who they are.
Yes.
They're supposed to
Yes.
have it.
You'd be like,
Like
not
no.
so. I mean, and they do this on a regular, like it's with whatever. They're the type of person, if they go to a place, they feel like they're supposed to cut the line. They might
Hmm.
be a nobody, and not by nobody, I don't mean actually a nobody, but I mean like nobody might not even know who they are, but
Who
they
are
feel like they're
you?
supposed to, and they'll
Exactly.
get
How did
upset
you get up
and
here?
they'll leave. Yeah, and they're the type that say, I had a horrible experience here. They had a bad experience. They just told you to wait in line with everybody else, but you, because you think you big, you thought you were supposed to skip
Hmm.
the line.
Exactly.
Narcissist.
Oh, whew, my God. Come on, Eternal.
Narcissist. Period. And let me just say this: this is not. It extends beyond cultural lines and ethnic lines and race and gender and disabilities and all types of other things,
Yeah,
age and all of that, class, all of that. Narcissists are found in every category you can think of. But there are some backgrounds that are a little more prone to narcissism because culturally it's been acceptable for so long. So I won't do too much with
exactly.
that.
Ooh.
But I'm gonna just y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave it there. Number two, manipulative or controlling behavior. That's a
Mm-hmm.
trait of a narcissist. As in the situation is not really like this, but I'm gonna turn it into this, or I'm gonna make you think it's like this and manipulate
Mm-hmm.
it so that I can get what I desire. Or controlling, which means I'm going a step above and beyond. I
Exactly.
actually want to make the outcome what I want it to be, and I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do or say what I need to say to get what I want out of it. We got to talk personal experiences or
There we
real
go.
experiences. If y'all
Yeah.
have any type of men, what you got for that, Tony?
That's the thing I was talking about, this whole gaslighting thing. That's a manipulative tactic. And even more so, the whole controlling. If I'm in a relationship with you, Taylor, and I give you the silent treatment, that's a control tactic. I need to
Facts.
have the
Woo!
cards on my end, and I'm not going to talk to you. You're going to feel it, and I want to let you know you're going to feel it.
You
That's
gonna fold.
another thing about
That's the
control.
intent. They want
And
you to fold.
they want you to
Yes.
fold. They
Woo!
want you to give in. And so you talk about this gaslighting. You talk about the idea of control. That control has to be on their side. The cards have to be in their pot at all
Always.
times. At all
Always.
times.
Mm.
Like
My God.
that. Keep going. You good.
Woo!
You good. You done did your research.
Listen,
I'm a little
I'm
proud
not
of you,
playing
girl.
because when I keep telling y'all, this was my life. Okay, I was dealing with somebody, and the silent treatment was a big tactic and tool that this individual used on a very consistent basis. If I said anything, I was told to shut up, and my job was not to speak because they didn't want to hear what I had to say. And then if I didn't fold then, or if I didn't just let that go, then it was, I won't talk to you for 3 days. But then I'll go look on your social media page and see if somebody commented on something that you
Yep.
wrote. And then that's my way back in, sending you a
Mm-hmm.
screenshot of what somebody
Mm-hmm.
said on your
Exactly.
craziness,
Exactly.
y'all. Craziness.
Exactly. Wow.
Controlling, not just controlling of me, but controlling of people around me. Let me break it
Exactly.
down. Look, we got to go. Since we digging in. One of the things that this narcissistic individual also did very early on, I have a lot of male friends, and for everybody that knows me, y'all know I got a ton of brothers. I grew up with two biological brothers, but I had god brothers, all the church musicians,
Mm-hmm.
and all my.
Yeah.
I grew up with brothers throughout college, throughout high school. I went to girls' high, but I had a ton and a slew of brothers. We share a car, whatever. But I've always had a lot of god brothers, and I thank God for that because I learned a lot about men through these guys. I stayed
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
from a lot because of these guys. Let's be realistic. But I appreciate the experience. But everybody that knows me knows that I'm cool with a lot of guys, and it's just friendships, no histories attached.
Exactly.
And I'm not knocking it because sometimes you have history with somebody and you just become
Mm-hmm.
a friend, and it's just a friendship. I'm talking
Yeah.
about solely just friendships, just
Yeah.
good, great brotherhood, sisterhood type of friendships. This individual from the beginning said, no dude is going to mess with you, and just be your friend. So you need to dead them situations. That's a trait of a narcissist, or that you're
Mm-hmm.
dating when they try to,
Mm-hmm.
what do you call it, isolate you from your
Uh-huh.
friendships. They want to be
Isolation
the
is another
only
control
controlling
tactic.
factor in your life.
That's exactly what it is. That's another control tactic.
Woo!
And so it's almost to the point where I gotta break you down. And so the only person that you see after this breakdown is me. And then you put all your energy and concentration into me to build me up. I break you down, but I'm still needing you to build me up. How does
Yes.
that work? How does that work? I need you in every aspect to build me up after I broke your ass down. Oh, excuse me.
You
I'm
know you
sorry.
good.
I'm
Listen, Tony, you already know me. I don't care. I was waiting for you to do it before I did. That way I can do it now because you didn't you already said it.
my
This
bad.
is promises. Y'all
Listen,
know we a little different. We gonna say whatever we need to say. I gotta read
I'm
this because I
sorry.
read something in the comments that was excellent. Listen to
Right.
this. We got a viewer that said this control. My ex used
What
to
they
have me going crazy because she would insist I kept her on the phone when I was. Hold on, let me. It's scrolling. Kept her on the phone when I was out with friends to prove where I
I was
was,
where
where
I
I
said
said
I
I
was.
was. If I tried to hang up, she would blow me up verbally. Oh, she would blow me up,
Wow.
being verbally abusive. It was so bad. Can I tell you to the person, I don't want to call your name out unless you want me to, but can I tell you that this is classic narcissism, and I've experienced
Wow.
this similar thing. I was at a writing conference in Denver, Colorado, and I was told by another tactic of control by the person I was dating, they didn't want to talk to me for a few days. So I said, well, somebody done paid for me to come on out here, hotel and the flight and all that. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm not going to be worried about it. At the end of the conference, I get, the screenshots of people saying, just start conversation. I made the mistake of answering my phone. I didn't bring no charger by accident. I left it at home. So I had been charging my phone on the side of the rooms every day, to do whatever I need to do with my phones on the side of the room at the sessions, because I didn't have a charger. I was using somebody else's. I get a phone call. When I tell you, I was so embarrassed because the person was cussing me out for no reason, and you effing need to answer my calls. When I tell y'all, it gets crazy. It's crazy. That is classic narcissism, and it's control, and we're not here to support that. We're not here.
She said she would try to manipulate and isolate me because I was popular on the scene. I didn't date many people, but a lot of people knew me, and she would lose it and try to isolate me. That's a classic symptom. Again, in relationships, isolation, control. So you look to me for everything that you need.
Yes,
and you validate
I'm the sole source. Woo! They be wanting to be God out here in these streets, Tony.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. Even Granny Wowzers.
Yes.
She said, I've been praying for God to help me to trust again, so I can date or even have actual friends that are not online. She said, even don't even try to co-parent with one. Woo. Talk about gaslighting and the excuse king. Wow.
Jesus. It's hard. It's not easy. Here, let me give you another trait. Need for admiration. You ever heard, so you got the 5 love languages. This is like the words of affirmation on steroids.
Number 1.
It's not just I need to be affirmed every now and again. It's like, I need you to tell me who I am at all times. Like, and if you don't say it, I'm going to, they're very, let me tell you this. The first thing I want to introduce you to is they're not slow people. Narcissists are very intelligent. Very crafty. They've lived their life being that way. And because they're crafty, they will use every tool in their toolbox, everything in their arsenal to get what they want out of any situation. They want to be admired. They want you to tell them how dope they are, how great they are, how amazing they are all the time. And if you don't say it, then they start telling you you're selfish or you only think about yourself when that's not the case. Woo!
Yes.
Is that what you say? That gaslighting. They gaslight. They'll make you think you're crazy, and they'll make you feel like you're the villain and you're the person who's messed up.
They deny your reality of them, and they think, and that's another manipulation thing. And so when we talk about this admiration, so it's if you're dating somebody and they say, "Babe, how do you think I did?" Or in that speaking engagement, that's normal things to ask your partner, but they feed off of it. They need to live off of it. It's like, tell me about me so I can thrive off of me. They feed off of it. And so that's where it becomes, like she said, on steroids. The whole affirmation, love language thing is on steroids. I like the way you put that. I have never thought of that. I have never thought of that. But I like the way you put that. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Jesus. Dang. Here go another one for you. Lack of empathy. We talked about it because there's a difference between sympathy and empathy, and we got to make sure that you guys have the correct understanding. Sympathy is I've been through what you've been through and I can understand it. Empathy is I might not have been through it, but I can see that you're hurting. I can see me and with my social skills and my emotional intelligence, I can tell that something's not right about you and I care. They don't have that. It doesn't matter what you're going through. And when I say what, listen, I got to make sure I only got a certain number of y'all on here before I tell y'all my real truth. All right, good. We good in the numbers. I'm being honest with you. I went through something. I could have died. I could have been dead, right? Wow. And the person was a participant in my state, in my health state. They participated in me getting to the place that I was at and was nowhere to be found, nor cared one bit what I was going through. They made it about them. They weren't caring. They weren't the one they weren't the one feeling what I was feeling or going through what I was going through. But they made the situation about them.
Wow. Taylor, I'm first of all, thank you for even being vulnerable enough to even talk about where your position was in life to even deal with someone like this. Because a lot of people who are dealing with narcissists, they don't come to the forefront. They don't come to the forefront, and they feel like they have to deal with things on their own. But people on Facebook, StreamYard, we are here to tell you today that you can release it right now. You can
Yes.
release it today.
Please.
I'm telling you. And you know what? It's almost like this whole Beauty and the Beast concept. You know, it's Belle. If I just love him enough, he'll change. If I just care for him enough, I know he'll change. It ain't you. It ain't got nothing to do with you, baby.
It's them.
Oh, he won't be this beast no more. If I just show him he cared, I care, I can just love him. It ain't about you. If I just put on this yellow dress, I can be Belle at the ball. No. No matter how much you do.
And let's be clear. Yep, and we said it before. It crosses gender lines. Women are just as narcissistic. I've met some very narcissistic women in my day too. It's everybody. There's no hold bars. Everybody has the capability to be this individual. I'm speaking freely because I feel like somebody else is able to come out of their shell and be released from it. Don't feel like you. I feel like he said. Tony said it very, very well. He said, basically we feel like we can't talk about these things. But you got to come out of that because somebody else's healing is contingent on you being open and honest about what you went through. Don't be ashamed. You didn't do it. You are not to blame. Dealing with a narcissist, and we're going to tell you in a little bit why you're even more of a reason why you're not to blame because they put it on. We're going to get there later, but let's go through the rest of these. Another trait is arrogance. Demonstration of arrogant or haughty behavior or attitude.
Yeah, haughtiness, arrogance, attitude. I'm the SHIT. It's always been about me. I have a right to feel like this. Yeah, my food is always the best. I do this the best, better than anyone else. Tell me about me. Okay, cool.
Period. One told me that they are a boss and they make women. I said, well, where are you making them at? Because last time I checked, that's something Christ didn't. He did that in heaven. He started that project. Where are you making? You got a factory? Where are you making these women?
Come on, women factory.
Where you got a conveyor belt? You putting the arms on? How you making? Where you making?
It's a conveyor belt.
Listen, I just want to know. I'm petty. Y'all know I'm petty. That the Lord has not delivered me from. I am still petty. And so I heard that. One told me, I only date a certain caliber of women. Narcissists are attracted to people of importance because they are elitist. They want to be with people who are of high stature. Doesn't mean they are
you
high
make
stature.
me look
It means
good.
that they want to be with you because you are. So note here, I want to encourage. Oh, here we go. Because y'all know I'm preaching. I want to bless somebody today. If you dealt with a narcissist, it's because you are that dope. Because they only deal with people that are dope because they are elitist. They feel like they can only deal with people that are of a certain stature. So if you dealt with one, know that's a clue to you that your dopeness has shined through because you attracted them. God forgive me, I'm saying it. I'm preaching to you on today.
It's the truth. It's the truth because, like I said before, you're feeding them. You're feeding their infatuation. You're feeding into their desires. You're telling them about they need you to survive.
Period.
And so if they're getting that from you, they need it at a certain degree. So like Taylor said, your dopeness, you're with somebody because you're that dope to that person. They see something certain within you to illuminate themselves. They need you to illuminate them.
Makes them feel better, but then they'll make you feel like crap, like you aren't the person that they tell you're everything, and they only date everything, but then they tell you you're nothing. You're nothing. In the same breath, they'll tell you both. They'll tell you both. We got a couple more of these that we're going to go through, and then we get into this next topic. So the next one is preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. That basically means they live in this I'm preaching to somebody today. They live in a fantasy world. Narcissists live in a fantasy world where they believe like life is like, like straight off the TV screen or something. And they try to uphold the look of that, not the actual thing. They don't want to put no work in. The work should be something you do to keep them. They don't believe that they should have to work for anything that they have.
That's why I said the whole social media aspect. It's about the look. People can have perceptions based off one picture, and they derive whatever image they got. I'm going to paint the picture that I want people to think about me. So I'm going to put this certain image out there for everybody to believe and to think. That's why social media is so big to them. It's this fantasy world.
Absolutely.
People need to know that I look good. People need to know that I sound good. People need to know what my house look like. Jesus. But behind the camera, it's a mess.
Absolutely.
What I want you to see looks perfect. look fantasy,
Yes,
what I
but it's
want you
not
to
really.
see.
It's not really perfect. We got in the
Absolutely not.
comments, it says, sis was jealous of my friends and future wife. She would tell me I'm not your type, but in the next breath, she'd tell me I wouldn't be anything without her. That is definitely a classic narcissist. That's a comment from a narcissist, like hands down. That is like, if you ever hear anything like that, like you're amazing, but you're nothing without me. Classic narcissism, a classic narcissistic type of tendency, natural comment from them. There's another comment that says there's nothing you can do to please them. I thought I was going crazy. Oh my God. I was apologizing for something I did when we were not together. I just had to cut him off because I could not handle any more of the mind games. You are preaching in this place. Period.
That's
You
exactly
find yourself apologizing for stuff you should never be apologizing for. But they make you feel guilty. They know what to say to make you feel like you didn't do enough. And it's not you, it's them.
You begin to question yourself. That's why I said the whole gaslighting thing is so paramount to people in these type of relationships. And like Taylor said, it doesn't have to involve a romantic relationship. Relationship means who I am in relation to you. It could be your boss. It could be your parent. It could be a sibling. It's the relationship, who you are in relation to another person. They had the, and it's the capability that they do this is really a talent. How they make you feel so less than, how they make you feel so undeserving, so unworthy, because they do it with such ease.
Yes.
And it's like, well, damn, how did I even get here? Like, I was not like this before you. Before I met you, I was like this person.
Because I know I'm not the only one. You wonder, how did I, especially if you dope and you kind of know it a little bit, you know, how did I end up in this situation? They make you wonder that. We're going to we jump into it. We winding down because I want to make sure we get to that. Here's the last couple ones. The belief that they're special and unique and could only be understood by or should associate with other special high status people or institutions. This is that elitism that we talked about.
Yeah. I have nothing to say.
You got to be up there.
Right on the money.
Period. So they only going to deal with you if you up here. So if they dealt with you, no matter who they are, but they looked at you in enough, they had enough, here we go. They had enough reverence for you and enough knowledge to know that you were dope. That's why they dealt with you. Here's another thing. Exploitation / interpersonally exploitive behavior. This refers to a narcissist's tendency to exploit others and show no regard or empathy for their emotions or interests. Basically, I am going to use you for what I can use you for.
Everything I can get.
My personal situation, because I keep jumping back to it, I've had bosses that have used me for my skill set, and then in the quickest heartbeat would get rid of me as quickly as they can once I started being honest to them. Or once I started calling them out on their dishonesty, you know, or their lack of integrity, right? I was problematic, but they used me when they needed to use me. Personal relationship, romantic relationship. I invested in people's businesses, went all in, did whole campaigns for folks, and they used it and then exploited me for that. And then they went and did the stuff that they did. So they will use, they're users.
That's it. I mean, at the core, a narcissist is a leech, a user. You know, they take what they can get to fill themselves up. A leech fills themselves with blood, and once they're done, they attach from you.
Yes.
Thank you for what I got, and now disattach. Oh, you telling me about my accountability? Oh, I gotta fire you behind. Oh, you telling me I gotta let you go.
That part,
they can leave you. They can leave you, but you can't leave them.
No.
I can leave you, but you cannot leave them.
Facts. I'm going to read a comment and then we're going to jump into it. I see a comment that says, mine tells everyone I'm so evil and I broke up with him when he abandoned our son and I, leaving us homeless, but tells me and others I choose to be that way. I encourage you to step out of that because that is a tactic. That is a skill that they've learned and they will continue to operate that way so long as you allow it to play on you. I hope you know that being away from this person is far better for you and your son than it will ever be, you know, had you stayed in it. Because if they're not willing to seek healing, like I said, you cannot cure narcissism, but you can learn to cope with it and you can learn techniques. That's why you got to reach out to Tony. If you find that we're talking about you, listen, you don't have to put that in the chat, but you can reach out to us. Shoot Tony a message. Send an email to info@promiseschurch.org so that we can connect you with Tony. He helps narcissists. He can help you out. I'm not at that place yet. I'm gonna be transparent with you. I can help you if you're healing from a narcissist. I can help you. I don't my mind, the way it's set up, Lord, y'all gotta pray for me. I am not yet there to be able to help narcissists move out of the state that they're in. But I know that that's work to be done, and I know it can be done. I've read about it, and I know Tony does it. So Tony's the person for you.
Work.
I am not that person. I can't help you out.
Ongoing work.
Let me.
It's consistent therapy.
Period.
People who are
that's
treatment
him.
for narcissism, it's consistent and ongoing long-term therapy.
Period.
Because
you heard him.
Even
this the
even
last
so,
one
they start to manipulate the therapist.
You listen, that part.
So, they start to manipulate the therapist. Like, tell me about me. Oh, what do I need to do?
I can't do it.
Go ahead, give the last one.
No, you good. No, I was just saying, I was agreeing with you. That's why I can't do it, because they will manipulate the therapist. I'm good on that. I'm not there yet. They lie and they believe it. Here we go. The last one is extreme feeling, and this is what we talked about a little bit earlier, but we didn't dig on this. This is huge, and I need you guys to understand, because you are as dope as you are, this is a prevalent one. It says extreme feelings of envy of others, or belief that others are envious of them. They feel like either I'm jealous. If somebody has something I want, I'm jealous of them. Or everybody's jealous of me. The narcissist I dated had a story that he told me, and it was so like wacky that like only he could tell it. Where his best friend made a comment about, you know, his girlfriend or something, and it was like a back and forth. And so I guess he was so jealous of their relationship, he had to go for it. He went for the girlfriend and had the girlfriend. And, you know, now he thinks the guy's jealous of him. No, he ain't jealous of you. He's mad that why? If y'all was best friends. They don't use logic or reasoning when it comes to things. They get what they want when they want it. And it's an extreme feeling of envy or jealousy. They're jealous of your accomplishments. Because I was at this writing conference, here's the thing. Wow. That's why the problems ensued while I was there. That's why it turned into don't speak to me for a few days, because I was at the conference for a few days. You mad that you didn't get invited to something like this? Like, and you don't even know what this is, but you're upset about this. It was the envy. It's if somebody if you're out and somebody recognizes you and not them, oh my goodness, you will set them off by that. That sets them off. They are very jealous individuals. They're jealous of you. They're jealous of anything pertains to you. I told you, I got messages about people commenting. One of the guys, Tony, you ain't gonna believe this. One of the guys commented, he's like a longtime friend in the music industry, commented on one of my posts, and the guy was like, you know, this is extremely inappropriate, and you need to remove this and let him know not to say this stuff no more. I was like, first of all, he's my friend. Second of all, he's gay. He's fully married, has a beautiful husband, and a beautiful family. He is not thinking about me. But the jealousy is so real, y'all. Yeah, it's real.
The envy and jealousy. And I mean, people don't see that right away. But if you are the person who is dating a narcissist and you start to see some of these things, and we're giving y'all the recipe to get out. We're giving you the things to notice, to say, that's not really what I used to deal with somebody. If all your relationships are cultivating and it comes to this one person, it's a problem.
Yep.
It's a problem.
Yep.
It ain't you.
Yep.
It's the in-house person. I'm here to tell you, Pastor T is here to tell you, you can get out.
Absolutely. It took me a couple months. I felt like it was a couple months too long, but like I said, I'm out of it, and I'm grateful to God because I had no business being in it. But here's why. That's a perfect segue. Signs that you're dating a narcissist. We gave you signs of a narcissist, but here's a couple signs that you're dating one. They hog the conversation, talking about how great they are all the time.
How great they are. Love me because I'm great. Just love me because I'm great. Bow to me because I'm just bomb.
All the time.
The convo resumes to them.
Period.
It's always diverted to them. It's like, dang. I wanted to say how good my day was, baby. And you,
they don't care about your day. They only care about their day.
How you turn into you? It always diverts to them. Always. Because they want to hear about
so good. They were charming at first. I know y'all can relate.
Oh, of course.
One of the things, and I started reading about this, I said, oh my gosh, if this is not the truth. So I went on one date with mine. Like, we hung out one time. Second time, they wanted to be my boyfriend. I said, it's a little weird. I just met you. I don't know you like that, right? Like, that's cute, though. You really into me. That's nice. You know, try to put a little more work in or whatever they do. And then you get the I love yous immediately. The first thing I want to tell you is if you think that somebody's saying I love you too fast, they probably are. And even deeper than the time, because it's really not a time thing. It's really a content thing. And this is what I'm saying. Context thing. Let me throw it out there to you. And if you think I'm wrong, feel free to type it in the chats and we'll acknowledge it. But if somebody says they love you and you haven't even given them enough of you yet, as in you love me, but the why is the question, and they can't give you a good reason or reasons why they love you, it's problematic. That's classic narcissistic behavior.
There we go. But you know what? Because somebody said it in the comments, they love bomb you really fast. They love bomb you really fast.
Preach.
Because time is not on their side. If I got a person and I took some time to really break down somebody, they want to move so fast so you don't see the facade. So you don't see the beautiful facade. It's beautiful, it's quick, it's new, it's fresh. And so they move fast so you don't see the underlying issues with them.
Preach.
So
they don't want you to see. They want to get you falling for them real fast so that they can finally unfold and be themselves. They tired of wearing the mask too. They want to be their regular selves, and they can't do that until they've captivated you. They will give you. I got the I love you on the second date, threw me off. Then again the boyfriend thing, second date, threw me off. I let it play a little bit longer, but them joints came quick. And here was the thing. I said, well, why do you love me? Can I tell you what the person said? They said, I love you because I choose to love you. Now I'm preaching to somebody who's watching. You probably dated the same one, so I'm glad you got out of it too. But I choose to love you. That's not, I was about to say the N-word. Sir, what? That's not good enough.
Well,
I need
and that's another thing.
All of this.
And that's another thing, another tactic. Another control tactic.
Preach.
Well, let me tell you something. Nobody's going to love you where I love you.
Woo!
Nobody's going to pay attention to, and I choose to love you. You're not going to get the same love that anyone. The love I give is special from that person.
Jesus.
Another control tactic. You got to watch out for it. What do you mean? Because you choose to love me. So that means you can choose to stop. Like, love don't work.
Preach.
Absolutely not.
Ooh.
Absolutely not. Because I choose. That was a red flag right there.
That was it. That was it. They feed off. Here's another one. They feed off your compliments. How you know if you're dating a narcissist? Every time they hold everything light up. If they lighter on the complexion, you can see them turning red. They feeling it. They vibing with it. If they not, you can see it. Like everything you say, like that makes them go further. That pushes them more. Two people getting together should be whole individuals before getting together. Which means that if I don't give you a compliment, now I don't want to be in no relationship where a person can't compliment me, because one of my love languages is words of affirmation. If you fail to compliment me, I still know exactly who I am, and I don't need your compliments to continue on. A narcissist, they need you to continue to compliment them. Regardless, we talked about two different types of narcissists. It doesn't matter if they had a lack of that or too much of that growing up. They feed off of it, and they need you to compliment them. Yeah. They need you to tell them that they're fine, that they're cute, that they're hardworking, whatever they need, and they need it on a frequent basis. And if you don't give it to them, they tell you you're selfish.
Ooh, I'm just a little. I have nothing to say, Pastor. You good? You doing good, baby?
Listen, we closing out. We almost done. I just want to make sure y'all have the tools that you need. Like I said, we will be back next month with another topic, because this narcissism is very thick. It's very layered based on, where you faced it in your life, how long you were in it, how much of a hold it had on you. We know, that it's not easy, but we do know that there's healing after that. So the one thing I want to say, and we got about like maybe 10 minutes left. One thing I want to make sure that you guys know is that there's healing, and we're telling you this. First and foremost, we're explaining what a narcissist is so that if you're in a relationship, you can look for an exit, right? Second thing is if you've gone through, we want to validate you, and we want you to know that you're not by yourself. You're not alone. You're not the only person that's dealt with it. I don't care how amazing, because imagine, for me, I'm your pastor. I'm here giving y'all advice. I'm here telling other people how to get out of narcissistic relationships, and I found myself in one. So please don't feel ashamed or embarrassed by being in one. They come off, like we said earlier, very charming, very charming. And so you think this person is willing to give you the world, and it's easy to fall for. But it's a narcissistic type of thing to do, right? And once you start noticing it and you start seeing it, you start giving them passes, because they hit you with the charm again. Once they feel like they're about to lose you, they'll hit you, they'll restart it. So they'll reignite the charm. They'll lay it on you.
Yeah.
Or if they feel like they've absolutely lost you. I had
Yeah.
one tell me, I said, why are you with me? He said, because you're perfect. And literally that same night when I said, I cannot be with you and I think you need help. And I honestly, I cannot, it's unethical for me to have any type of therapy sessions with you. I can't do it, but I can refer you to some folks that can help you because you do need help. They twisted that I'm perfect stuff into, I can't believe anybody would ever follow you. You're an idiot and all this other stuff. My mom ain't raised no fool. Mom and dad ain't raised one. Ain't never been no idiot in my life, but they will tell you the worst just as quickly as they'll tell you the best to break you down. You can get out of it. I want to encourage you. We said some of this stuff before, but you're dating one if they lack empathy. They don't have any or many long-term friends. Narcissists don't tend to have really long-term friendships because people figure out who they are. And narcissism is not confined or limited, right, to just one sphere of their life. So if again, it's the people closest. So they tend to not have people close to them. Right? Understand what I'm saying? So if it's a friendship, that friendship is only going to be but so close and only going to last for so long before that person starts telling them about themselves. Or they do something ridiculous like the guy I stated, messing with the friend's girl, whatever. Like they do stuff like that.
It's a beneficial thing. What can I benefit from you? And like you said, you may be somebody close to me, but I'm only looking at you as a benefit type of thing. I'm a benefactor. I'm a benefactor. How can I benefit from you? You my best friend. And the best friend may have known you for years, but they know some of your deep stuff. And so that's why they only focus with you on a surface level or on a certain level. And then the work crew and this crew. Like you have to look at what am I benefiting from this person? That's how a narcissist thinks. How can I benefit from this person?
Yes.
How can I take it to the next level? If you are that person and you're in a relationship with a narcissist, what you see is what you get. I'm gonna be honest. What you see is what you get. If you don't like the relationship that you are in, you have two options. The first one is get out. The first one is get out. You have to get out. And I'm telling you, if you're married, it's going to be ugly. The divorce or whatever aspect of getting out is going to be ugly. They're going to want to take everything they can to tarnish your reputation, to make them look good. You have to get out. That's the first option. Get out if you can. If you can, you need to get out. And I'm going to say this. If you stay, I don't recommend it, but if you stay, you must manage your expectations of this person.
Clearly. And understand who you really are. I saw somebody post in the comments that they need the strength. They need healing from it. And they need the strength to not go back. I'm telling you not to go back, sis. And I see you. And I see who wrote it. You don't need to go back. You don't need to go back because you're way more doper than that. I use the term dope, but I mean it. You're too dope to be dealing with anybody that makes you feel like you're less than. One of the other things it says that, this next one is big, but before we get to that, when they pick on you constantly, we talked about that. Just as quickly as they'll praise you, they'll break you down immediately. Mine told me that I wasn't dope. After telling me I was dope, told me I wasn't dope. Everybody else he dealt with got their nails done, hair done, and wore $300 shoes. I said, well, I get my nails done when I feel like it, but I clean my house. So that it's a waste of my time sometimes because the bleach and all the cleanup, I don't feel like that all the time. I'm also not sitting there waiting 3 hours to get my nails done. So, I mean, it's a personal choice. It's a preference. Doesn't take away or add to me one bit. The other thing is $300 shoes. Shout out to you. If you're wearing $300 shoes, go for it. I like the shoes that I wear. I picked them out personally. I like that they don't cost $300. I like to be financially savvy. That's just my choice. Make me better or worse than a person. And so those little things, those little comments, they're very offensive. They're not okay. They gaslight you. Tony said this earlier, but here's a couple things. Signs of gaslighting include the following. Pay attention real quick because we only got 7 minutes with y'all. You no longer feel like the person you used to be. You feel more anxious and less confident than you used to be. You often wonder if you're being too sensitive. You feel like everything you do is wrong. You always think it's your fault when things go wrong. You're apologizing often. You have a sense that something's wrong, but aren't able to identify what it is. You often question whether your response to your partner is appropriate. You make excuses for your partner's behavior. If you can relate to this stuff, you've been gaslighted and you're probably dealing or have dealt with the narcissist. Unacceptable. This is the last thing I want to leave with you. They do a lot of stuff. Two things. One is they think that they're right about everything and they never apologize.
Never apologize.
Ever. They will have a reason for why it's still your fault. And it's not. And because they're so crafty and clever, you might even believe it. Find yourself somebody posting it. I've been
inwardly.
there, apologizing for stuff. You called me on my trip, but I'm sorry I wasn't sensitive enough to, they'll cancel plans on you last minute, and it's a control tactic and not care about it. And then when you ask them why, they're like, why would you even bug me about that? I had a headache. Leave me alone. Like you should have been more considerate asking anything. No, I was getting ready for us going out. I was hype about that. And you just didn't. You just ghosted, for the night. Like, you thought that was cool.
Exactly. My God.
I'm preaching.
My goodness.
This is the last one I got for you. Y'all type if you got any final questions. Now is the time to type it in the chat until we have the next conversation. But here's the thing. When you show them that you're really done, this is why I want to close out on this. They lash out.
Oh, yeah. That one last piece of control that I have left that I'm trying to get, I'm going to maintain. I'm going to try to keep it. One last ditch effort in order to keep you here.
Yes.
They are big on temper tantrums. Oh, yeah, they are big on temper tantrums.
Woo!
Absolutely.
Don't they know how to act out in all types of settings and scenes, wherever they feel the need to?
And that's when, at that point, it's your last ditch effort to get out. Get out.
Get out.
If you're going to be that person, and I hate to say this, if you're going to be that person to continue to be in bondage, manage your expectations. Okay, you can talk simple conversations. Hey, how's the weather? Hey, did you see that squirrel over there? Hey, simple conversations.
That's
because
it.
You will not get what you need. And I will say this. Have your deeper emotional needs met outside the relationship. And I'm not saying go out. I'm saying cultivate your friendships that you already have. Cultivate the healthy people. Those people who can, say, I'm mutually respectful. I have empathy. My needs are received and respected. Cultivate other relationships outside this relationship with the healthy people.
Please. Because they will try to isolate you. But if you have other people, you're not crazy, and you have friends. It was my friends that kind of helped me. I'm not even going to hold you. They're like, sis, if you don't leave him alone. And I'm like, no, I make up my excuse and my reasons. But my friends wasn't having it. Like, no, we're not doing this.
Exactly.
And he was extremely charming, even in front of, they had them thinking, oh, he's such a great guy in the beginning. To the point where when I would say the stuff he would say, it was like almost unbelievable, but they knew I wasn't a liar. Like night and day, you get two different people. The charmer, the extreme charmer, has a whole other side.
People who are in relationship with narcissists, they feel like they're not enough.
Number and cut all ties. Absolutely. I see somebody, listen, let's be realistic. A lot of narcissists are sitting in a lot of pulpits. So let's be honest about that. I see somebody says my ex was a pastor and he was able to rebuke everything and everyone. When it came to him, he could do no wrong. 100% of narcissists. I know a lot of them. And that's completely unacceptable. And I don't want anybody to think that that's what church is like, or that's what God is like, or that's what God's people are like, because they're not. That is a narcissist. That has nothing to do with God. God is not a narcissist, and he doesn't condone narcissistic behavior.
Yeah.
The Bible preaches and teaches about being humble and considerate for other people and caring about other people. It does not teach us to be narcissists. So that's not in line with God's word. Let me just say that. And if you're not of the faith, that's fine too. We're talking to you as well. Listen, narcissists are not okay. Narcissistic behavior is unacceptable. If you're dealing with it or have been, there is help. Please make sure you reach out to us. We're going to type it in the comments right now. Again, if you are someone healing from a narcissistic relationship or you need help getting out of one, reach out to us. Myself and Tony are available. If you are someone who is a narcissist and you're looking for help, Tony is available. I keep saying that because I don't know how to deal with them. But Tony does the work, and he will do the work. And so I want you guys to know that there's help for you. You don't have to do this by yourself. You're not alone. You don't have to be ashamed about it. You're not talking to people that are going to be like, who are these idiots that was dealing with this? That's not how we're going to come at you. We're going to be real. Not. I understand how you got into it. I know personally because I was in it. I know firsthand how you got into the situation you got into. I'm here to help. Tony is here to help. He is excellent. Yeah. He comes highly recommended. He is a light worker. He doesn't just say that, because it's a nice little tagline, nice title. That's really what he does. He's going to help you be the best you can be and get you back to believing in yourself the way that you should before that narcissist tore you down. Yes,
I think this is really a good discussion. It's a good discussion as far as the last day of Mental Health Awareness Month. We're here in May, and closing out this month with this discussion is going to help a lot of people. Thank you for being honest and vulnerable about your own journey, Taylor. and helping people to realize that they have the wherewithal to get through what they're going through now. A lot of
Absolutely.
times, our stories aren't for us, it's for other people. You
Preach.
see what I'm saying? Our healing is dependent on other people. Isn't
Yes.
that crazy?
Yes.
Sometimes what I'm going through is to help somebody else. And people
Yes.
don't realize that. So when you told your experiences, it's for the sole purpose of helping somebody else realize you can get out of it too.
Absolutely.
Whew.
Absolutely. And that's the only way, honestly, that's the only way to be. Like you have to be very honest and transparent. I'm not saying you got to tell the whole world, but sharing your story with just one other individual,
Exactly.
that person might share it with somebody else that really needs it, or that person might need it. You never know. So please don't be afraid of anything that you've gone through or that God has allowed to take place in your life. Some stuff God would prefer that we not go through, but he allows it. And understand that he's going to get the glory out of it, which means that if you went through it,
Yes.
somebody else is going to be blessed by it. And so please do not hesitate to share your story and your experience. We will see you guys. It's the 8 o'clock hour. We will see you next month. Please share this stream and this discussion with somebody that needs it, or just share it on your page. We thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you.